Hi everyone, this is Dr. Heather Austin Robillard, and this lecture video is going to be understanding the media, specifically when it comes to alcohol use. I first want to go over a few of the advertisements throughout the years, and we're going to kind of talk about what first comes up for you when you see these advertisings. Who do you think that they're for, and what are some of those general and specific analysis tools that the media can use in order to promote their product? This is located on Blackboard. So if we look at this one, this is actually a vintage alcohol advertisement from Heineken, and as you can see, it's talking about how we have the youngest customers in business, kind of this assumption that we're the best, even our babies love our products. They even cap that up with nothing does it like a Heineken, like this is the only thing that you can have. So think about which general specific tools would fall into this one. Is it humor? Is it the big lie? Think about which ones you would label for this advertising. Then this one says, sip into something comfortable, which is kind of a play on that old saying of slipping into something comfortable. And this is by Southern Comfort. Kind of the idea that if you drink, maybe it might lead to having an intimate moment with somebody. This could be one of those borrowed symbols, borrowing this phrase and using it towards the sell of their product. And then here we have Kim Kardashian selling Midori sour alcohol. And so this one's pretty obvious that it's a celebrity endorsement, but you could also say that it includes this idea of like, hey, if you drink this, then you'll stand out from the crowd. You'll, be attractive. People will want to be you, all of that. And then what about this one? It says nectar of the gods, again playing off that old adage of nectar of the gods. And so what does that mean? What is it saying to men that if you drink this, you'll be like a god, and that people will want to be around you and be with you or be like you? This is one of those strong words, it's this absolute treasure, as if you drink this is the best drink in the world and in the sea. And then this one kind of has a sexual connotation to it as well. Cherry, red, all of that kind of to women, meaning more of an attraction, sexual stance to it. So when it comes to alcohol in the media, I want to focus a little bit on children and adolescents and how this is impacting them. Children actually watch on average about 3 hours of television per day. Even though they typically say to monitor it down to less than 2 hours, but this is still the average in the US. Saturday morning programming contains about 20 to 25 violent acts per hour versus a 5 o'clock primetime TV. 9 out of 10 advertisements for food are on Saturday morning TV, and they are typically going to be those junk food advertisements like cereal or chips or anything like that. Children view more than 20,000 commercials a year, and on average parents spend about 38.5 minutes of parent-child meaningful conversations. These are just some of the ways that children can be impacted by the media. When it comes to alcohol in the media, teenagers actually encounter about 100,000 alcohol ads before the age of 18. And the alcohol industry makes about $90 billion a year in revenue. And they spend about $160 billion a year on advertising. It's a false assumption that all health warnings must be on label, which then leads into that about 20% of alcohol use is consumed by underage. These are important to understand so we can critically think about the messages that we're receiving from alcohol in the media. I also want to talk about some of the social media and alcohol. Social media is now full of advertisements, and this includes advertisements for alcohol and drug use. Restaurants promote their drink specials and happy hour on social media. You typically will post party invites through Facebook. Research is showing that teens who spend any time on social media are at an increased risk for smoking, drinking, and drug use in comparison to those teens who don't use any social media throughout the day. So they are 5 times more likely to use tobacco, 3 times more likely to use alcohol, and 2 times more likely to use marijuana. 40% indicate they have seen images on social media of people drinking, people doing drugs, people being passed out or drunk. There's also research showing that if they are displaying, sharing, or searching online for drugs, alcohol, or risky behaviors, then they are also likely doing that outside or offline. So if they are sharing about alcohol ads or anything like that, or liking alcohol ads, then it is likely they are also doing that when they're not on social media. You always have to take the good and the bad. So social media and recovery is also probably the positive message that we get from social media. And that, however, or that recovery has also increased in the social media. We're seeing more and more groups or online support for getting sober and being in recovery. We're also seeing treatment groups promoting themselves through social media. So while we're getting attacked by tons of influencing alcohol, there's also enough of the lowered of social stigma that social media is able to try to intervene or prevent alcohol use as well.